Okay, so what we're going to do here in this section is we are going to look at factorial notation. So let's take a look at this example. 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. This is given a special name and symbol. It's called 7 factorial. And is written as 7, what looks like an exclamation mark afterwards. So 7 factorial is just equal to 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. You can see it starts with the 7 and goes all the way down to 1. Right, some other examples. Right, 3 factorial is just 3 times 2 times 1. Right, and that equals 6. 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and that equals 24. Right, you can just use your calculator from there to do the math. Right, and one more example. How about 6 factorial then? Is just 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And when you put all that in your calculator, it gives you an answer of 720. So what we can do is we can evaluate some of these. Let's take a look at our first example. How about 8 factorial over 5 factorial? Right, so that's just 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is the top. And the bottom is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And when it comes to fractions, when we see the same numbers on top and bottoms, we cancel them. Cancel the 5s, cancel the 4s, cancel the 3s, cancel the 2s, cancel the 1s. So all we really have to do is just 8 times 7 times 6. Multiply those numbers out, we get an answer of 336. So a very nice first example. How about our next example, B? All right, we have 9 factorial over 6 factorial. All right, so that's just 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. All right, and once again, we just cancel. 6s, 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s. We're left with 9 times 8 times 7, and our answer here is 504. Or we could have looked at this a different way. All right, 9 factorial over 6 factorial. Couldn't we just say 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 factorial? All right, because this 6 factorial means 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the bottom the same. 6 factorial. Those factorials cancel. And we're left with 9 times 8 times 7, which still gives us 504. All right, so 2 different ways of doing it, and we can see that our answer is still the same. All right. But what about our next examples, right? Let's take a look at a different type of example, right? What about, we have 6 factorial over 4 factorial, open parentheses, 6 minus 4, close parentheses, factorial. So the top stays the same, but the bottom now is just a 4 factorial times, well, 6 minus 4 is a 2 factorial. All right, so what do we get? We get 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times a 1. The bottom is 4 times a 3 times a 2 times a 1. That's for our first one. Times, we still have 2 times 1. From there, once again, we can cancel. I see 4s, I see 3s, I see 2s, and I see 1s. Right, what else can I cancel? Well, and we can do it 2 different ways. We can multiply what we're left. 6 times 5 is 30. Right? 2 times 1 is a 2. And we simplify that, and that gives us 15. All right, 30 divided by 2. Let's take a look at one more example. All right, how about 7 factorial over 5 factorial, open parentheses, 7 minus 5, close parentheses, factorial. So the top is 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That bottom is just a 5 factorial times 7 minus 5 is a 2 factorial. All right, so what do we get? 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Your 5 factorial is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 times your 2 factorial is just 2 times 1. And we cancel again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we can multiply what we're left with, right? Our 7 times 6 gives us a 42. 2 times 1 gives us a 2. We divide that, we get 21. You can check your work as well by using your calculator, which is what I'll talk about in our next video.